Today begins a video series that I'm going to do on baking. I've been baking for about 10 years, and about a year ago I got started baking with Einkorn flour, and there's really not a lot of info that out there on how to bake with Einkorn. They make it sound really complicated and like you have to change recipes, and you do have to know what you're doing, but it's not that complicated. Einkorn is an ancient grain. It is one of the oldest on the planet as far as we can tell. Maybe already going back all the way to the Garden of Eden. And so it has been unaltered, and it is much more digestible. It has a form of gluten that is much more easily digested. So you don't necessarily need to go gluten-free if you're having a hard time with gluten. You just need to have the right form that your body can handle. And I first got interested when my friend Erin had, she was trying to bake bread for her daughters. Two of her daughters react very badly to gluten, and she had started using einkorn flour and found that to be something that they tolerated very well. But I'm all about grinding my own flour and baking fresh instead of buying flour from the store, because within 48 hours after grinding, it begins to lose 90% of its nutrition. And so I decided to test this out and to try some einkorn baking. And what I found was that the taste is superb. The nutrients, as 40% more iron than other types of wheat. The flavor is amazing. And if you've done any baking where you've ground your own wheat, you know that there's soft wheat and hard wheat, and you need to use soft wheat for like biscuits and cookies and pie crusts, and then you need to use hard wheat for your bread baking. And einkorn is perfect for both. You do not need to buy anything else. You just need to buy the einkorn. It is good for waffles and pancakes and biscuits, but then it also makes really nice bread. I would say one limitation, and this is something I'm experimenting with and working on, is a bigger loaf. It doesn't, when it's too thick in a loaf pan and it doesn't rise as high, I'm still trying to figure out how to get that to work. But for rolls and French bread and pita bread, pizza crust, those kind of things, it's amazing. And if you're a beginning baker, follow along with me. We're going to take you through step by step on how to use the equipment, what equipment I recommend, a book, the attachments, and I'm going to walk you through it. So if you will just like and subscribe and follow along with me. I'm going to do a long series with all the things that we can make with einkorn, that if you have a gluten intolerance, you will be able to tolerate this most likely if your issues are like my friend's daughters. So we're going to get started. I'm going to do a video on my equipment and how to put it together. And then we're going to get started with some recipes. And if you have any recipes you want me to try, put it in the comments section. I'll be glad to make whatever you want. But I've got a long list. I got a bunch of stuff that I make regularly. Try to switch it up because my kids get bored with the same old. But we have perfected some of our bread recipes, and we're very excited to share them with you. So stay tuned, and we'll get you baking and using einkorn, and where gluten's not a problem for anymore. Ta-ta.